Disturbing scenes and painful testimonies from a region that has seen too much bloodshed. Chizoba joins us now live from Jos. Chizoba, you're welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. And I'd like to say thank you for the courage to actually be present there and actually bring us that report. We could see the effect it had on you, and that effect was not only felt by you, but also by all of us here in Lagos who had to watch that report earlier on during the week. While the news was going on, I also had to take a breath. I'm going to defer to Judith now because I'm a bit emotional.
Chizoba, first of all, it's okay for you to have broken down there when you filed in that report. Now, you were in Riyom. I can only imagine what you'd observed when you arrived at the affected community, seeing those mothers wailing on the ground and the fathers just not being able to control themselves. How are the residents coping in the aftermath of the attack? Let's start there. And what did you see? What was the air like when you stepped into that community?
Oh, thanks, Judy. And once again, good morning. Just like everyone has been saying, it's been a very, very sad morning. Not just for people in the local government area, but also for, human beings wherever they are. The whole of Plateau is mourning. It's a sad one. Yeah, it's been happening over the years, But this one came with a different feeling. That's not the first of this kind of incident I have to cover for news reports, But what majorly broke my heart was seeing that lifeless 3-month-old baby lying on the bed like he or she was sleeping, and then the mother just beside him or her, and then the father by the other side. It's such a sight no one would pray to see. And then you're not talking about the other bodies that were still burning at the time we got there, charred. You can't even recognize whether it's a male or female, not to talk about knowing who the person was and all this. It wasn't a good sight to behold. But, well, they say time heals, and I so much believe in that statement, because right now I could smile. Yeah, not that I am happy about what happened, but I think I've had some relief stepping away from there, because that first day we were there, the second day the governor had to go visit them, to condole with them, and then speak to them, So back to back, it's not been a funny one. But like I said, time heals, and thank God for time. So for now, they feel a bit better, if I should say that. They feel a bit better, because it's not the same way we saw them that first day that we saw them the second and the third days that we went. So it means they are picking up. It will be very gradual, yes, very slow. But the truth is, they are not where they were that Tuesday morning. Today is Saturday. Some days have gone by and they are picking up. But most importantly, there's calm in Jebu, there's calm in Bachi, there's calm in Gwagwareng communities where we visited with the governor to see the situation of things there. But mostly in Bindi, that is the main place that this incident happened, in a Riyom local government area. So the people are sad. They are not happy, of course. Who would be where a family of 5 was just cleaned up like that in the wake of the morning, a family of 3, the aged, babies. Mothers, you could see them rolling on the floor. For them, they've lost everything. For them, they are losing hope in life. They are losing hope in the government. They are losing hope in the security architecture of the state, not just even the state, the country, because it's not just happening in Plateau State. So many places in the country, people are losing hope in the security architecture. And their call is on the government at every level. Locals do their own, the states do their own, and then the federal government will come in to do their own. And if everybody sits up, just like everyone is calling, I think we'll have a more peaceful society to live in and show the human in us. Because I don't see the gain of somebody that will just go strike, burn somebody alive, set the house ablaze, and if you run out, you're shut down, you're macheted, I mean, that's inhuman. That's inhuman.
Chizoba, the level of despair can be seen from that report, also from your narration of what you experienced. I'm sure that everything didn't make it into the report. I'm sure there are very interesting bits that you couldn't put in. One of these interesting bits that I noted was Mr. Asemo, the youth leader, his comments there, and it was a bit worrying. I don't know how I felt about that, but he said, if we don't get answers from the government, we know what to tell the youth to do. What do you think he meant? What do you think he was trying to say? If you can go full 100 in expressing yourself here regarding that statement.
Okay, like I said, this is not the first time this kind of thing is happening. I mean, there's rampage, youths go angry, they want to block roads, they want to express how bad they feel about the incident, especially when they think that government is not doing enough or security agencies are not doing enough, just like what happened in Mangu local government area of Plateau State in June this year. That's just a month ago, where the Iri youth had to block the road, and not just blocking the road, an unfortunate vehicle coming in from Kaduna State was stopped, mobbed. I mean, some people were killed. It made headlines, you know. And why? That mob action was because they were angry, and then they decided collectively to carry out this mob action to show the world that they are not happy. For just like the youth leader you were talking about, he said they just come out from a meeting and decided that they wouldn't follow that same path again, you know, because you just get to, I mean, continue that cycle of violence, retaliation that will never end. And so if it continues that way, it means that people will keep going on the same path of retaliation, of revenge. And so what is the business of these people coming in from Kaduna State into Plateau State to attend a family member's wedding? And then you stop them, you kill them because of an attack on you. No one is saying the attack was good enough or was okay or you deserved that. No, but these people are strangers in your hometown. I mean, you should show some sign of care and love. They missed their road according to the story we heard. And so it was just for you to redirect them on the right route to take, not to kill them. Even when you saw babies in the vehicle, you know. So the governor condemned it. The community members, leaders also condemned it. And also the security agencies condemned their act. So I think they learned from that. And so if you ask me, I think that is what he meant by saying that they've had a meeting, that the youth leaders have had their meeting and decided to talk to the youth, to calm down, not to take the laws into their hands so they don't continue to escalate this matter while plans are on the way to ensure it's brought to an end, especially for suspects or perpetrators of that act to be brought to justice. The governor also said when he visited that he's pleading with them. He actually did. And going by physical looks and body language, he felt bad and he begged and pleaded with them not to take the laws into their hands. They should calm down. And he's going to convene a security meeting with the General Officer Commanding 3 Division and the Commander of Operation Safe Haven and of course the State Police Commissioner here and other security chiefs to find out what actually went wrong. Because according to these guys, I mean, Mazino, you will not understand. But I know you would just try to understand that these guys are just trying to stay away from taking these laws into their hands. So for them, they are calm for now, and from the look of things, they're not going to avenge this incident.
Well, Chizoba, I have to ask you, right? Earlier, you were saying that that the community so far, you feel like it's now more calmer. The people are sort of picking up the pieces and going back to what they know. We also know that the governor has visited and have asked, and also titled, he really just described this attack as genocidal at this point and ask the security agencies to step in and do what they can to reinforce security. But I do have to ask you, is this peace going, or this normalcy going to last long? Would it be long-lasting? You know, because we know that the hinterlands in Plateau for far too long have continued to experience this sheer violence at this point. There are no words to describe it. With the governor stepping in and extolling all the agencies, security agencies, to do better, do you think that there will be normalcy return to Riyom community?
Okay, thanks, Judith. I think for now, like I said earlier, calm has returned. There are security agencies on the ground, personnel still combing the bushes according to Aquila's report, and some details that they are not letting anything to chance, because the governor has charged them, that she used that word, said that he needs to see suspects or arrests made to serve as deterrent to others. Because if it continues like this unabated, just like in the past years, I mean, it will keep going on and nothing will be done. And each and every day or every other day, lives are being lost, innocent people go down for what they know nothing about. So the governor has said a lot of things. He said that that while this continues, investigations are going on, you know, to find out the root cause of this. Because for him, he said this is an act of terrorism. This is sheer genocidal, that there was no reason given behind what has happened. You know, just like in the past, sometimes you say that, okay, maybe a farmer was killed on his farm, or a herdsman was killed while working with the cattle to graze, you know. And then, so there's something that it's usually held on to as the reason behind such attacks. But from this, there was none. So far, even up till now, as I speak with you, nothing has been appointed as the cause of this, as the reason behind this. And so the governor may not have any other reason to give than to say it is pure terrorism. You know, people just come to kill you, to take your land, to take over your property, and I mean, grab the land and all those, you know, because initially you used to hear about land grabbing, used to hear about cattle rustling, used to hear about cow poisoning, underage grazing of these little boys with their cattle, and all those things, or farm distraction, or night grazing, where at the end of the day, when you wake up in the morning, you get to see that your farmland is cleared, you know. So all these have been triggers of this kind of incident. But sadly, this one, nobody has come out to say that this is why this happened. So it remains a mirage to so many people. And the governor has said he's looking into it. He's going to speak with critical stakeholders to know exactly what happened. And of course, you know, you cannot handle something, bring it to an end if you do not know the root cause. So I believe plans are underway, or investigations are being carried out to find out exactly what has happened. Because if you listen to the locals, they'll tell you there was early warning sign, and it was also passed down to the security agencies, and they felt that with that, the attack would have been prevented. And so these lives wouldn't have been lost.
Right. I mean, there've always been early warning signs. We've always seen that. Yeah, we've always seen that there's always been early warning signs, and it's just that the security never steps in. Zino.
Yeah, thank you, Judith. Chizoba, one would also wonder what the security architecture is like. If there are these signs and nothing happened, there were talks of security personnel being sent to these villages, but yet they were still attacked. However, I think to summarize all of this, you highlighted what reporters actually go through in the line of doing their jobs, and that must be very, very harrowing for you to have experienced, especially detailing the anatomy of what you saw there with the bodies. So once again, I applaud you, but I really have to ask, are you okay?
Thanks for asking, Mazilo. I am fine. I am fine. Like I said, it's a harrowing incident. No one wants to go through this. No one wants to see these things, especially when you get to hear the reasons behind this. I was going to say that before you came in. For the security agencies, they put up their gun trucks to repel the attackers when they heard about the early warning signs that they were around, they were about to strike, so they did what they could do to ensure they were repelled. But when they noticed that the attackers had gone or were not coming again for the attacks, knowing they were on the ground, after some hours they left, believing everywhere was safe. But according to the commander that was on the ground, that is Sector 6 of Operation Safe Haven, he still stationed some gun trucks, and after some time they left, knowing that the attackers had left. So, but no one knew that they were going to come back the second time for that thing. And so when they did come back, what happened that, according to locals, because of course I wasn't there, according to locals, that they said that the station guys were there, that the security operatives were there, and they were watching. They couldn't do anything to save their people. That according to them, that the commander said these men were overwhelmed, But for the security operatives, when asked, because the governor had to speak with them in the presence of everybody, he said he put up his gun trucks, his men were there, and they tried as much they could, but what happened, happened. So it's a blame game here. We weren't there, unfortunately, at the time of the incident, just after it had happened. So it's after the investigation is done, people will be able to know exactly what happened and how best to handle that to avoid subsequent attacks in future. But for me, just like we're getting emotional at the start of this conversation, keep talking about this is whipping up more emotions and all this. But I am fine. I'll try to get over it, but I mean, it's such a sad one.
Blame game. One pushes the bulk of the work to another, and then we continue this push and pull game until another attack happens again. We pray that that would not be, and we hope that those who have lost loved ones will be able to repeat from whatever is left of their lives and start all over again. And for the 27 who's departed, may their souls rest in peace. And also to you, Chizoba, thank you so much for all the hard work, and well done.